Hi guys, welcome back to Jungle Flowers Canada. My name is Grania and thanks for joining me. So guys, as the title suggests, I thought I would speak about some of the plants in my collection that would be considered popular in 2020 and 21. Some of them would have been harder to find early 2020 but might be more easily found today. But they're still plants that you're not going to walk into every garden centre and find in stock. So I thought I would start off my collection by showing you probably one of my favourites, and that is my Alocasia Friedeck. This plant is absolutely stunning. Now I did pick this up in my local garden centre, and of course they are more readily available now, but it's not something like a pothos that you're going to walk in and you pretty well know you're going to pick it up. But this plant is absolutely stunning. Its velvety leaves are just gorgeous and the veining on it is spectacular, and I can see why this is still a very popular plant. Okay guys, so from here on in I'm just going to grab the plants that are closest to me. There's no particular order. So next on my list is the Alocasia Maharani. Now this is a very thick-leafed Alocasia. It's almost like armour, if I could describe it, compared to the Friedeck. And this actually came from Canadian Tire. So, you know, but it would be considered a plant that would be hard to find. I know Canadian Tire did a run on them, and a lot of people were fortunate enough to get it. But again, it's something that you're not going to walk into a garden centre every day and you're going to find. So next up is my Painted Lady Philodendron, and I think this is such a cute plant. It's such a prolific grower, guys. I just put it onto a moss pole and you know what, I just give it a bit of water, stick it in the window, and it just grows happily away. It has a beautiful leaf, and the older it gets, obviously the leaves get bigger because it's a philodendron, and I think it's actually a really cute plant. I don't have a lot of Hoyas in here, I have a few. Now there are other Hoyas in my collection that would be considered harder to get, but we've done Hoya videos before, so I just picked one or two that I thought would deserve a place in this video. So this is one of them. So this is the Hoya Sarawak. This isn't actually my biggest one, it just happens to be the one that was in my IKEA greenhouse here in my dining room. And you can see it grows a very large leaf. These two leaves are new, and there is a new baby leaf coming up here. And actually I think I see another one coming as well. So this is the Hoya Sarawak, one of the larger leaves. And as I say, I do have one outside that has a leaf probably closer to the size of my palm. But I just thought it's beautiful. You're not going to walk into a garden centre here and see these readily available. So I thought it deserved a little mention. Next up is my Anthurium clarinervum. Look at this. Isn't it just beautiful? So it's one of the velvet leaf Anthurium. It has the potential to grow very large. The veining is magnificent, and I love the shape of the leaf. I did actually pick this up at Kim's Nature, but it is one that you won't readily find. Well, this is funny. I just had to show it to you because of the plant it is. There's nothing magnificent about this, guys. But I just thought it deserved a mention. This is a Philodendron Tiger Tooth Ring of Fire. So I cut this in my vacuum and pulled off all the leaves, but there is a new leaf growing here, which is, I'm sure, very difficult for you to see. I do have another one down in the basement with two tiny leaves as well, and there is a new growth point coming here. So this plant is very expensive now, very hard to find. Thankfully, I didn't pay a lot of money for it. So obviously when I realised how expensive it was now, I am very careful to make sure that it recovers. I will actually put a picture of it on the screen so you know what it looks like in its glory. When I imported these, they had beautiful long leaves on them, but a lot of them died. It was sphagnum moss that came in and it was just too wet, so they actually rotted. But thankfully I was able to save 2 of them, and I have another one down in the basement. What have we next? So next up, again, this is a small one because I imported this as well, and it did lose all its leaves, so it's just starting to recover. And this is a Syngonium Pink Splash. Isn't that just glorious? Next up is another Hoya. So this has become so popular. This is the Hoya Australis Lisa, and I have it in my retro IKEA cabinets, and you can see there's some beautiful new leaves coming. They come out like this dark pink, almost red, and then they fade back to these beautiful colours. So I'm very happy to have this. She is really beautiful. Next up, actually, guys, is a Syngonium that it's not actually talked about very much, but it is one that would be harder to find, and I think it's absolutely stunning. And it is the Syngonium Batik. Let me show you the leaf of this. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? Look at the markings on it. That's a new leaf that just came out, and this is the leaf that came with the plant. But I think this is gorgeous. I have never seen it in a store, at least to my knowledge, but I just thought it deserved a mention. So a Syngonium Batik. Now I will mention, guys, a lot of mine are very, very small because I just got them recently. So they do all have, most of them have, sorry, my dog is growling at somebody out there. She's growling at another dog going by. But they do have the potential to get huge. And this one in particular, I've seen it in its like mature stage, and it's stunning. So this is an Alocasia Silver Dragon. It's probably one of my favorite Alocasias. And this came with 3 leaves, lost the 3 leaves, so these ones are all new. And next up, which this is quickly becoming a favorite for me. This is a Philodendron Silver Sword, and it's in my retro greenhouse cabinet, which is behind me, under 4,000 Kelvin lighting, not grow lights. You can actually see it's getting sun stressed. I'm going to have to probably take it out. But I just think the colour of these leaves is spectacular. It's in its mature stage, it's stunning. And I have got lots of growth on it, and I'm so excited to have this plant. But you can see there, it is actually getting sun stressed underneath, like 4,000 Kelvin lights. It's getting sun stressed. So I think I might move this out to my actual greenhouse because the sun is starting to come in now, and I think the plants, I've moved a lot of my aeroids out there, and I think they will do much better now that the days are getting longer. I love this plant. Of course, we can't forget to mention the variegated string of hearts. This plant is so cute. Now I've just put in, these are just new strings that I've added, and there's, you know, they'll take a while to fully establish. I did root them in water, but I cannot wait for this to become a mature plant. I do have a few butterfly cuttings of this in my little terrarium, which I will add to this eventually. But I love this plant, and I am very happy to have it. Next up is the controversial Philodendron Pink Princess. This plant, guys, is so unpredictable. I do have some pink on it. You'll see there, this is the newest leaf, which I thought was going to have a load of pink, but you can see it doesn't have that much pink on it. This one here has some pink, and there's like speckles of pink on some of them, just very slight speckles. This is a new leaf coming out here. I don't see any pink on this one, and this is what the problem is, guys. Now if you look at the back of the leaves, if you look at the, can I get this in frame? If you look at the back of this leaf, it would appear from the back that it would have more variegation, but on the front, very little of it is coming out. So this, I don't know, I think this is very overpriced. I really wouldn't pay a lot of money for this because it's just too unpredictable and it's too easy for it to revert. But it is a sought after plant. A lot of people would really like to have it in their collection. Am I happy I have it? Yes, you know, yes, of course I am. I'm happy that I have it. Would I pay a lot of money for it? No, I certainly wouldn't. But I have it. I didn't pay a lot of money for it. I think I paid $10 for it in 2019, I guess it would have been. So I'm happy to have it because I didn't pay a lot of money for it. And next up is my mame. So this is a Philodendron mame. And I think this is its newest leaf actually here. And this, of course, will get huge. You can see that it was just a cutting. And I actually did a trade on this, but you can see that there's new leaves coming out on it. And this sits, well actually now I have it out in my wooden greenhouse, but it was in my green IKEA greenhouse originally. Now some of these are battered, guys, but I just thought I'd show you anyway. So I did actually take cuttings off of this, which I have down in the basement, and it's very hard for you to tell what this plant looks like because I got thrip damage on it. I should have actually probably kept one of the new leaves on it. But this is an Epipremnum pinnatum variegata. This plant is actually quite expensive. You can see I have a new leaf coming here, and I have 2 cuttings of it down in the basement. Is there anything else crazy happening with it? No. So I will put a picture of this in. So this fenestrates as it gets older, and it's very, very beautiful. So this one, guys, a lot of people don't like this plant. A lot of people are hating on it, and I actually think it's beautiful. It used to be very hard to find, and it was expensive, and it is more readily available. I think it has shown up in it's definitely shown up in Lowe's, possibly Walmart. You know, it has shown up a bit more. But when I imported this, they weren't as readily available, and I do absolutely love it. And I happen to have a variegated leaf on it, and it is the Philodendron Birkin. Now if you look there, can you see my variegated leaf? Isn't that gorgeous? But seriously guys, look at how pretty the markings on the leaf are. I think the reason people are kind of iffy about this plant is, well, now it's becoming readily available, but also because they're all relatively new and they're all very much in their infant stage. I don't think anybody has one that has really reached its full potential. So I think when this gets to its full potential, it will be definitely stunning and will be one that we will all be delighted to have in our collection. So I do have a soft spot for Birkin. I think it's gorgeous, and of course it rewarded me with this fabulous leaf. I thought it deserved an honourable mention. Now, what else have I got here? So I have the Syngonium White Splash. I do have a few of these. I have some that are bigger as well, but this just happened to be in my IKEA greenhouse. You can see there the leaf it came with is dying, but the variegation is beautiful, and this is the newest leaf. This is really cute. It's a great fast grower. I can't wait for the spring and summer so they will take off, and they are very easy to propagate. So this is another beauty. We're down to our last 3, guys. I won't be keeping, oh no, we're not actually, because I have to show you my pride and joy. But anyway, so this, I don't know what has happened. This is my black velvet, and I got a new baby out of her. And I also got a little, I guess a seed, I'm not sure what they call the little seed pods that are in there, but I did transfer her. She was in sphagnum moss, and I just recently transplanted her into soil. So maybe she just needs a little time to recover. But here, let me just, so this is the the Alocasia Black Velvet. Again, another beauty, a thicker leaf than the Friedeck, but that beautiful dark leaf with the amazing veining. And you can see she's just a little bit unhappy. She is watered, and I think she just needs time to recover from coming out of sphagnum moss into soil. I'm going to have to vacuum in here now because there's soil all over my floor. And here is another one. So this I got in a plant swap, and it is a Brantianum. Some people call it the Philodendron Brandy. You can see it here. So these are 2 new leaves, which are very small. I'm hoping it will get bigger, and you can see there, oops, can you see there? There is a new leaf coming. So I hope as it gets older, the leaves will get bigger. Sorry, Leroy is having a little conniption out there. And then here so this is my most recent purchase, guys, and it is the Alocasia Dragon Scale. I am so excited to have this plant. So another one, which you can be lucky, you can pick this up. I think they had them in Canadian Tire. I imported this one, and again, this got thrips, but I just think it's beautiful. It is the Mandula Pathos. Look at the leaves on this. I have two of them. I have one that's climbing up shutters in my dining room. You can see here, this is the leaf that was thripped. These two leaves were thrip damaged, actually three. And I cut off all the thrip damage, and then this now is the new growth. So I am very excited to have this. I think this is a gorgeous plant, and I am excited to see what it's going to do over the next year. And of course, guys, last but not least is my Monstera Deliciosa Thai Constellation. So I have two of these. This is actually the top cutting of the main plant. You can see there, so we have some fenestrations. And then I also have the main plant, which is heavy, but I need to show it to you because of the variegation on the new leaves. Okay. So this is the original plant. So I took a cutting, the top cutting off of it last year, and it put out a new shoot. And this was the leaf that came out of the new shoot. Isn't it stunning? And now I have another new leaf coming. Can you see it here? And it looks like it's going to be highly variegated. So I am excited to see what's happening here. Eventually, when this establishes, I will make another cutting. So if I could make a few my daughter is desperate to have one of these. So eventually, when it gets bigger, I will kind of keep this as my original plant and then make cuttings off of it. But it still looks good, even though I took a top cutting off of it, it still looks good. But look at that leaf. So gorgeous. I'm so excited about it. So guys, I'm sure if I went looking, I could find some more. I have an Anthurium magnificum in my terrarium, but it's tiny, tiny. I also have an Anthurium crystallinum cross forgetii in there that has no leaves. The roots still look good on it, so I'm anxiously awaiting new growth on that. And you know, if I went around, I'm sure I could find a few more, but I think that's probably plenty for today. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would be amazing. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget to ask below. As usual, I'm going to ask if you watched till the end, put the green heart in the comments. And guys, if you're not already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. So guys, you take care and have a wonderful day.